a shot of that, and they get a shot of me like telling people to go. Just go in between these two first. It's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, not bad. So we're at the home of Mapleshade Records, a very eccentric old engineer named Pierre Sprey, who used to work for the Pentagon designing fighter jets, and then he got into recording music, and now he's invented all his own microphones, all his own speaker wires, and his recordings are supposed to be the closest thing that you can get to sitting in the room with the musician. And he records bluegrass, jazz, blues, and flamenco, actually, because I recorded one flamenco CD with him. And just like, this is a new spot, but you can see he has lots of stuff always. Check it out. He likes stuff. All right, let's go meet Pierre. Oh, and we're in Maryland, near Baltimore. Hey, puppy. Hey, puppy. Wonder if they were in the middle of his recording. There was no traffic.
Hey, great to see you.
Wow. This is
Wow.
Cody.
Hey, Cody.
There was
Good
no
to meet you,
traffic.
man.
This is
Really?
Pierre.
I
No
can't
traffic.
believe it.
We went straight, like not one car on the road.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, Sunday after Thanksgiving. Come in, come in.
Come on.
Show us stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing? I'm Tao.
Rex.
Nice to meet you.
John.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Very nice.
Heard good things about you guys.
Beautiful session, man.
This is the microphone that Pierre has invented. And can you explain it, Pierre?
Sure. Sure. This is an unusual kind of microphone called a pressure zone microphone.
Say that one more time, Pierre.
It's an unusual kind of microphone. It's called a pressure zone microphone. And what it is, it's a very tiny capsule with a diaphragm like any other microphone, except much tinier. And instead of facing the music, right? If you have a guitar here, a normal microphone would face the music. It faces the panel. And this panel is actually the receiving surface for the music. And so all this microphone is doing is measuring pressure variations on the boundary zone of the entire panel. And the great advantage is that the microphone capsule is so tiny that it's extremely responsive. So you get kind of the lightest touch of the guitar, you know, the slightest nuances of little buzzes on the strings and so on get picked up much better than by normal sized diaphragms, or perhaps about that big, 1 inch to 2 inches. So they're way heavier.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's kind of interesting because both John and Rex have actually, through the course of the session, have been kind of adjusting their playing, you know, how hard they play, because they've been listening to playback, and they're hearing that when they play a little quieter, they get much more nuances of the instruments, because they both have gorgeous instruments. I mean, real collector's item instruments.
Can we hear a little of you guys playing?
Of course.
We're just done. Oh, wait. Get this. Okay, explain what's going on here.
The actual recording setup is the tape recorder, much modified. This is my equivalent of a mixing board, or it's vastly simpler. It's just six mic preamps basically tied together with nothing except volume control in every channel. No EQ, no treble, no bass, no effects, no reverb, nothing. Right? Just absolutely minimal amplification. All of this is powered by battery, as are the microphones. The entire chain is powered by battery except for the tape recorder itself.
Why?
Because as soon as you plug into the AC line, you're vulnerable to noise, that's put on the AC line, high frequency, random noise coming from stuff inside the house. I mean, we're careful about that. We turn off stuff, but even down the line, when people have motors on, computers, all those put high frequency crap on the AC line. You don't hear it as hum when you're recording with a good tape recorder, but you hear it as a harshening of the music. You know, you get a little edge on it, you lose a little detail, the bass gets a little muddy. When you have battery, you're the only person on that supply. There is no crap on it. It's simply what's coming out of the battery. The downside, of course, is the batteries only last a few hours, then I have to solder up a new battery pack.
Only a few hours each.
So it's a kind of pain in the butt. Now this is actually part of our mastering chain. We're not recording through any of this, right? We're recording strictly through the tape recorder, the mic preamps, and the microphone. Totally simple recording chain. This is when we master, we play back from the analog tapes through this analog to digital converter that's also all battery powered. That's one that I kind of ripped apart and modified. And then it feeds our computer. This is probably the world's most, how should I say, most torn apart Mac G4. Once upon a time, this was just beautiful silver and blue plastic case, you know, that lovely Mac styling. But we ripped all that off because it hurts the sound. And then we found out that underneath the chassis is too flimsy, so we had to use maple beams to reinforce it. And of course, like everything else in the studio, it's mounted on heavy maple platforms and coupled with these kind of feet. These are heavy brass feet to drain vibration out of every piece of equipment down into the maple. You'll notice the mics are mounted the same way to drain vibration out of the mics. The analog to digital converter is mounted that way. Of course, the computer is. And you can hear it every step of these changes. I mean, all of these are done by ear, right? This is not based on some abstract theory. When I stiffened the chassis of this, I had to listen to the computer to see how it sounded. When we mounted on brass, we had to listen. Every step improves the sound of the playback.
That's amazing.
So let's see this G5. These are the hard drives too, or have been taken out? I mean,
Yeah, this is an external hard drive, which is better sounding than an internally mounted one. And of course, it's also on brass feet, see that? On its own maple platform. And then we have a burner over here, a CD burner, mounted the same way, because we have to do our masters on CDR. That's what we send to our pressing plant, right? So
and
the quality of our CDRs is
what
crucial.
are this like tape type stuff?
Those are the wires that we've developed. We also produce these, you know, through our catalog. But these are wires. These right here are interconnects. That is, they bring signal out of the mic preamps into the tape recorder, right? So that